Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I thought I'd rig the GoPro up in the car and not sing. That is a very important thing, but I thought I'd give you a Friday thought and travel with me to school as I blabble out, I guess, some ideas for the morning and just make people ponder and wonder about where you are in the world. So currently this is the climate in Australia. We are 3 weeks after this week from the end of our teaching year, and it's well, I've got 3 weeks. The school has 4 weeks, and our last week as specialist teachers is a bit wishy-washy. So I've got 3 weeks to finish off all my units of work, finish off all my assessment, make sure I really pinpoint where I'm happy with at the students' growth points for how they've achieved this year. So it's pretty intense at the moment. It's a lot of pushing children as hard as they possibly can to be able to show and share the physical examples of what they know. And we're finishing the year with our kindergartens, our prep students are doing a lot of ball handling with dribbling as the focus. So bouncing rather than foot dribbling. My grade 1-2s, we're looking at the concepts of strike. So rather than teach forehand strike and two-hand strike in complete isolation, we themed it under the umbrella of strike, and then that way we can make comparisons of equipment, effectiveness of one-hand or two-hand strikes, putting them into different contexts. So last week we worked with students in small space, so using the appropriateness of a forehand strike was really important. Whereas today we're heading outside and we're going to set up a field and use the batting tees and use the cricket tees, even use just the strike off the ground with a golf club, to be able to hit for distance and get the kids understanding that the power of a two-hand strike is really important when you're trying to send a ball somewhere as well. And forehand strike, you're setting a ball somewhere anyway. Our senior students are all on their territory games, aka invasion games, and my good friend Bernie Holland talked about the importance of using the right terminology in the community that you're in, and the word invasion in my community is not a threatening word, so the kids know that theme as invasion games. However, in some of our communities the word invasion is a threatening word, so it's important to recognize that, and that's where territory games are also advantageous, of just giving the kids the mindset of they're okay, they know what they're doing, and this is how that concept rolls out. So we've just merged, we had 3 weeks worth of concept training, where it's all about trying to gain possession in the opposition's half to be able to win the game. And so transferring that across to a sport has been really critical and really important in their growth, and the understanding that where we are with, well, where we finished with our game of N-ball, we're able to pick up and change that piece of equipment and the skill that's required to be able to turn it into any game that we want. So this week we've been, with my classes, we've been concentrating on concepts of rugby. So you lose possession if you get touched by the opposition, and the other one there is that they can throw both ways. So in our sport of rugby, you can only throw backwards, but allowing them to throw forwards and backwards, because again, the concept of actually only throwing backwards while you're moving forward is actually really tough to teach. And one of the ones we did bring into that is a safety zone around a fair catch, and we related that to our AFL, our Australian Rules Football, where if you make a catch, then you need a reward, and that reward is that you got 5 seconds with no one around you to be able to stop, slow your game down, and think about your next pass. And that was really, really essential in allowing students to stop and think and then make a pass that is successful to them. We've also been working on the ideas of winning and where winning appears in a game, rather than being, having that self conflict into whether I won or whether I lost. We've got a lot of students that don't like the physical, mental nature of losing. So we bring out the concepts there of where can you win in a game? Have you made a successful catch? Did you pass the ball to somebody else and they caught the ball? They're all little wins that we want to celebrate along the way. And slowly that mindset is shifting, where we actually don't even score a game anymore in the training of it. But then we'll have elements in a couple of weeks where we'll score and you're playing to win, and we'll have a little round robin tournament. And students know that they are going to get beaten, and some students will get beaten really badly by just the skill nature of another student. And what we were setting up for is that it's life, and life works like that. So that's where we are with our teaching sides of things. And I assess on iDocio, always have, always will. What I love is that inside iDocio I have all my rubrics set up. My junior children, we're looking at our skill ability, but also the application of skill. So they're assessed on both those elements there. And the results every now and then, the results are really surprising, where a student can, in isolation, perform the skill with the right foundations of fundamental motor skill. But then come into a element where they're on their own, they're needing to use that skill in order to achieve something more through a game or through a situation, and the skill breaks down. So two-hand strike, and I know I'm talking to preaching to the converted out there. Sorry, tongue twisters this morning. It's like my podcast with Jace Ferguson. A lot of tongue twisters in that one when I talk in the morning. But I know a lot of you will think this same thing. One, the ability to try and hit a ball in a side-on position. It's tough, and we get our students a lot of the time facing where they want to hit a ball, rather than standing side-on to where they want to hit a ball. So that whole nature of, we want you to hit to the wall, rather than eyes on where you want to hit, because the eyes on where you want to hit just allows them to turn their head, but the hit towards, we get them swinging and drawing lines, I guess, where the bat wants to go, and they realise that they're not going to get anywhere near where the desired target is. And the other one there, which always pops up every now and then, and I know you guys are loving this one as well, is the wrong hands, the crossovers with the hands. And that's something that, again, we will remind ourselves, and we'll be bringing that up in our teaching and correcting that in our students over the next few weeks. But in 10 years' time, we'll be doing the same thing. That's just the nature of how students learn, and how they are able to conceptualize what they're doing. And it doesn't matter how many methods you go through, you're going to find that there'll be 1 or 2 or 3 students there that it's really important to correct that hand positioning. And if you don't, it becomes a habit. We've got a grade 6 student that is above level. In fact, in some things he's well above level. Come to batting, it was one thing that, you know, we picked it up when he was young, but the habit had already been formed, and so it's a very, very difficult skill to undo, because he mentally can hit a ball so much more effectively with crossed hands than he can with his hands in the right position. And we test that, and he doesn't like the correct hand position on the ball, but he has so much more range of motion when he does. And, you know, again, setting up situations where he needs to bat the right way or have the hand positions the right way is really important. We've even allowed him to have the hand grip, but get him to swap sides. So he's a right-hander with a left-hand hand grip, so we ask him to hold the bat properly and then bat left-handed. So then he's got the right grip, but again, he just prefers the other way. So they're the dilemmas of education, team. And that's my babble for the morning. I really hope that you've enjoyed that. Today's Friday. It is a glorious Friday because I know tomorrow is Saturday where I can adventure again. Stay connected. Keep talking. I hope you love this little vlog cast in the car on the way to school. If it's successful, we'll do some more. I'm about to head to the coffee shop and then I'm heading up the hill to work. So you have a wonderful day and we'll check in across the weekend. Send me a tweet. Love you all and keep doing what you do because it is amazing.